This is a story about a boy named Tomas and the secret he discovered that changed everything. Tomas grew up in a place where the streets had no names, only numbers. It was a dusty corner of the world, hidden behind tall fences and forgotten buildings. Some people called it the edge. For Tomas, it was simply home. He never knew his father, and his mother, Alina, worked day and night cleaning houses, just to bring home enough rice and bread for him and his little brother, Nico. She was their world. Even when she came home tired, with sore hands and aching feet, she always smiled. She always made them feel safe. But life, sometimes, takes what we treasure most. One winter evening, Tomas noticed something strange. His mother was coughing more than usual. Her hands were cold, and her smile was weaker. At first, he thought it would pass, but it didn't. There was no hospital nearby, no money to buy medicine, just a quiet house and growing fear. He and Nico tried everything. They made warm soup. They stayed by her side. They prayed, but a few days later, Alina closed her eyes and never opened them again. Tomas was 17. In that one moment, everything changed. He became the adult, the protector, the provider. But he had no job, no skills, no help, just a tiny home and a hungry 8-year-old brother. At first, he did odd jobs, carrying groceries, cleaning market stalls, washing windows, but the pay was small, and sometimes people didn't pay at all. He tried to stay hopeful, but hope fades fast when your stomach is empty. One evening, as the sun was setting and the sky turned orange and gray, Tomas walked past a small house. The back door was open. He could smell food, warm bread, soft cheese, something sweet he hadn't eaten in 2 days. His feet moved before his thoughts. He stepped inside just to grab a few things. But before he could leave, he heard footsteps behind him. 3 men. They didn't ask questions. They shouted, they grabbed him, and they threatened to end his life right there. Tomas fell to his knees. He begged them, "Please, I have a little brother. He's waiting for me. He's hungry. Please." After a long silence, the men let him go, but they took everything, his money, his bag, even his shoes. That night, Tomas walked home barefoot, his feet bleeding, his heart heavier than ever. When he opened the door, Nico looked up. His eyes were big and tired, his cheeks thinner than before. Tomas dropped to the floor and cried. cried not just for the pain or the hunger, but because he felt like a failure, a boy trying to play the role of a man and losing. The next morning, with nothing left to lose, Tomas went out again. He wandered through the streets, not knowing what he was looking for. But then he saw someone, a man in shiny black shoes, a stranger. He looked confused, like he didn't belong here. That could be dangerous. Maybe this was a chance. Tomas walked up to him and asked softly, "Are you lost?" The man looked surprised. "Yes," he said, "I'm just exploring." He was a tourist, a businessman from the city. Tomas thought fast. "I can help you. I know every corner of this neighborhood. I can show you around if you can buy me some groceries." The man smiled. "Deal." They spent the whole day walking. Tomas showed him the old church on the hill, the quiet alley with murals, the spot where kids played soccer with bare feet. He explained which places were safe and which were not. The man was impressed. He'd never seen this side of the neighborhood before. That evening, over a small dinner, the man asked Tomas, "Why groceries? Why not something else?" Tomas told him everything about his mother, about Nico, about the hunger, the fear, the dreams that felt too far away. The man listened carefully, and then he said something unexpected. "I run a tour company in the city," he said. "We take visitors from around the world to see Rio, but honestly, none of my guides know their city the way you know yours." He paused. "If you learn the city center the way you know this neighborhood, you could be the best guide I've ever hired." Tomas didn't wait. "I'll do it. I'll work hard. Just give me a chance." The man looked at him kindly. "I won't give you a job yet, but I'll give you something better." He handed Tomas a stack of books. "Read these. Learn about the city, its history, the streets, the culture. I'll come back in 2 weeks. If you pass my test, we'll talk again." That night, Tomas laid the books on the table. He hadn't seen this many books since he dropped out of school. He had left school because his teachers said he was too slow. His classmates laughed at him. "You're not smart enough," they whispered. Now those voices came back, loud, cruel. But then he looked at Nico, small, silent, waiting. Tomas gave almost all the groceries to his brother. He ate very little. He didn't sleep much. For 14 days he studied, slowly, carefully. Each page took him 20 minutes, sometimes more. He sounded out every word, wrote down what he didn't understand, looked up maps, repeated names over and over, and the voices in his head, they screamed louder. You'll never make it. You're too stupid. This is a waste of time. But Tomas kept going. 2 weeks later, a knock on the door. It was the man. Are you ready? He asked. Tomas nodded. I hope so. The test lasted hours. What's the name of this street? Why is this building important? Which area should tourists avoid? On and on and on. Finally, the man closed his notebook. I'll let you know in a few days, he said, and left. Tomas waited. Every hour felt like a year. His and Nico's future, everything depended on this. Then, on the third day, the man returned. He was driving a big van. Tomas ran outside. Did I pass? Can I come with you? The man smiled. Go pack your bags. Bring your brother. Let's go. Tomas didn't cry, but something inside him melted. A quiet joy, a silent victory. In the months that followed, he worked harder than anyone else. In the years after, he helped build one of the biggest tour companies in South America. He took care of Nico. He even started his own family. So, what was Tomas's secret? It wasn't talent or luck. It was something deeper. Gratitude. Tomas never forgot where he came from. Every clean shirt, every warm bed, every morning with food on the table, he saw all of it as a gift, a miracle. And that's the truth. When you learn to be grateful, truly grateful, you don't need motivation, because you already see how precious life is.